Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you from the heart today because 26 is not just another year coming on the calendar. It is a year that will expose who prepared and who only hoped. See, most people want a better future, but they are not willing to become a better version of themselves. You keep asking God for blessings, but God is asking you for growth. Before 2026 arrives, there are some things you must improve, not for applause, not for people, but for your own destiny. First of all, you got to improve the way you think. Your life will never rise above the level of your mindset. If you wake up every day expecting failure, talking negative, doubting yourself, then guess what? That's exactly what you're going to get. You cannot keep saying, I can, and expect your life to say, I can. Change the conversation you have with yourself. When you fix your mind, your life will start fixing itself. Next, you need to improve your discipline. Motivation is good, but motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. Discipline is what gets you up when you don't feel like it. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when nobody is watching. If you wait to feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. Successful people don't feel like it every day. They're just disciplined enough to do it anyway. You also need to improve your consistency. A lot of people start strong but finish weak. You get excited for 1 week, 2 weeks, and then you disappear. Dreams don't work like that. Small steps done every single day will take you further than big steps done once in a while. If you want 2026 to be different, stop quitting on yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real today, something that can change the direction of your life if you truly hear it. Self-discipline is the foundation of every lasting success, and without it, talent will fail you, motivation will disappoint you, and dreams will remain nothing more than wishes. A lot of people want the results, but they don't want the responsibility that comes with those results. You cannot keep praying for a better life while refusing to do the work required to build it. Discipline is not about punishment. Discipline is about respect. Respect for your goals, your time, and your future. See, discipline is what separates those who talk from those who achieve. Everybody has a dream. Everybody has an idea. But very few people have the discipline to show up every single day, even when they are tired, even when they are discouraged, even when nothing seems to be working. You don't need to feel inspired to be disciplined. You just need to be committed. Commitment says, I will do this whether I feel like it or not. That's where real growth begins. Most people lose the battle in the small moments. They quit when it gets uncomfortable. They stop when it gets boring. They give up when results don't come fast enough. But discipline teaches you how to delay gratification. It teaches you how to say no to what feels good right now so you can say yes to what will feel great later. Every successful person you admire learned how to master this skill. They didn't always enjoy the process, but they respected it. Let me be honest with you. Discipline is hard. It requires sacrifice. It requires you to stop blaming people, situations, and circumstances. You can't keep saying, if things were different, I'd do better. Discipline says, even if things are not perfect, I'm still going to do my part. Life will never give you ideal conditions. If you're waiting for the perfect time, you'll wait forever. Discipline also means controlling your habits. Your habits are quietly shaping your future every single day. What you do consistently matters more than what you do occasionally. If you wake up late, waste time, avoid responsibility, and repeat that pattern, your life will reflect that. But if you start waking up with intention, managing your time, and doing the hard things first, your life will start to change in ways you never imagined. Discipline turns ordinary actions into extraordinary outcomes. A lot of people think discipline limits them, but that's not true. Discipline actually gives you freedom. When you are disciplined with your money, you experience financial freedom. When you are disciplined with your health, you experience physical freedom. When you are disciplined with your thoughts, you experience mental peace. Lack of discipline might feel easy in the moment, but it creates pain in the long run. Discipline might feel painful now, but it creates freedom later. You don't need to be perfect to be disciplined. You just need to be consistent. There will be days you mess up. There will be days you fall short. That doesn't mean you quit. Discipline is getting back on track quickly instead of staying stuck in regret. Stop being so hard on yourself for not being perfect and start being proud of yourself for not giving up. Let me tell you this, no one is coming to save you. Nobody is responsible for your growth but you. When you truly understand that, discipline becomes personal. You stop making excuses. You stop waiting for validation. You start doing what needs to be done because your future depends on it. Discipline is self-love in action. It's you saying, my future is too important to be ruined by my excuses. Ladies and gentlemen, if you master self-discipline, everything else starts to fall into place. Confidence grows. Focus improves. You stop chasing success, and success starts responding to you. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you about your mindset, because whether you realize it or not, the direction of your life is being controlled by the way you think. Not your circumstances, not your background, not the people around you, but your mindset. You see, life is not happening to you, it's responding to you. The thoughts you repeat, the beliefs you hold, and the expectations you carry are shaping your future every single day. Most people are defeated long before they ever try, and the reason is simple. They've already lost the battle in their mind. You can't live a positive life with a negative mindset. If you wake up every morning expecting things to go wrong, expecting failure, expecting disappointment, then your mind will find evidence to support that belief. Your mind is powerful like that. It doesn't argue with you, it agrees with you. Whatever you tell it consistently, it accepts as truth. A lot of people say they want success, but deep down they don't believe they deserve it. They doubt themselves. They compare their journey to others. They replay past mistakes over and over again. That kind of thinking will keep you stuck. You cannot move forward while constantly looking backward. Your past may explain you, but it should never define you. If you don't change the way you see yourself, you will never change the way you live. Let me tell you something important. Your mindset controls your reactions. Two people can face the same problem, and one grows from it while the other gives up. The difference is not the problem, it's the perspective. A strong mindset looks at obstacles and says, this is temporary. A weak mindset looks at the same obstacle and says, this is the end. Life will test you no matter who you are. The question is, how do you interpret those tests? You've got to stop speaking defeat over your life. Words are powerful. When you keep saying, I'm not smart enough, I'll never make it, you are programming your mind for failure. And then you wonder why nothing changes. Change your words, and you'll begin to change your world. Speak life into your situation, even when it doesn't look like it's working. Especially when it doesn't look like it's working. A winning mindset understands that growth takes time. Too many people quit because they expect instant results. They want progress without patience. But anything worth having requires endurance. Your mindset has to be strong enough to handle delay without quitting. Just because it hasn't happened, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Delay is not denial. Sometimes God's preparing you for what you prayed for. You also have to improve the way you handle criticism. With the wrong mindset, criticism will crush you. With the right mindset, it will teach you. Everybody who's ever done something meaningful has been talked about, doubted, and criticized. If you let people's opinions control you, you'll never be free. Learn to listen without absorbing everything. Not every opinion deserves space in your mind. Another thing about mindset is responsibility. A powerful mindset takes ownership. It stops blaming people, situations, and circumstances. It says, what can I do better? As long as you blame others, you give away your power. The moment you take responsibility, you take control. You may not be responsible for what happened to you, but you are responsible for what you do next. You've got to train your mind daily. Just like your body needs exercise, your mind needs discipline. Feed it positive information. Surround yourself with people who think bigger, not smaller. Protect your mind from negativity because negativity spreads fast. You can't listen to doubt all day and expect confidence to show up. Ladies and gentlemen, when your mindset changes, your decisions change. When your decisions change, your habits change. And when your habits change, your life changes. Everything begins in the mind. If you want a different future, you must first develop a stronger, healthier, and more focused way of thinking. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you about consistency because this is where most people lose the fight. Not because they are not talented, not because they are not capable, but because they are not consistent. Everybody wants a breakthrough, but very few people are willing to do the same right thing over and over again when nobody is watching. Consistency is not exciting, it's not glamorous, and it doesn't get applause in the beginning, but it is the reason success eventually shows up. See, consistency is what turns average effort into extraordinary results. You don't need to do something huge once in a while. You need to do something small every single day. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 week and underestimate what they can do in 1 year. They start fast, full of energy, full of passion, and then life happens. They get tired, distracted, discouraged, and they stop. And the moment they stop, progress stops with them. Let me tell you this clearly, talent will open a door, but consistency will keep it open. You can be gifted, smart, creative, and still fail if you are not consistent. On the other hand, you can be average, ordinary, and still win if you show up every day and put in the work. Consistency is not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. A lot of people confuse motivation with consistency. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings change. Some days you feel strong, some days you feel weak. Consistency is a decision. It says, no matter how I feel, I'm going to do what needs to be done. That's why relying on motivation alone will always disappoint you. When motivation fades, consistency is what carries you through. Consistency also requires patience. Results do not come on your timeline. They come on the timeline of effort. You might be doing the right things and still not see immediate progress. That doesn't mean it's not working. It means it's working beneath the surface. Just like a seed planted in the ground, nothing seems to be happening at first. But that doesn't mean growth has stopped. If you dig it up every day to check, you'll kill it. You have to trust the process. One of the biggest enemies of consistency is distraction. We live in a world full of noise. Social media, opinions, trends, and comparisons push in 100 different directions. Every time you get distracted, you break your rhythm. Successful people learn how to protect their focus. They understand a yes to everything means saying no to their goals. Consistency demands focus, and focus demands sacrifice. Another thing that stops people from being consistent is the fear of slow progress. People want fast results so they can feel validated. But consistency is about long-term vision. It's about doing the work even when nobody is praising you, even when nobody notices. You have to be willing to be unseen for a season so you can be undeniable later. That's the price. Let me also say consistency builds confidence. When you keep your promises to yourself, you start trusting yourself. Every small win adds up. Every day you don't quit, you get stronger mentally. Confidence is not built by waiting for success. It's built by showing up consistently even before success arrives. You're going to have off days. You're going to miss a step sometimes. That's not failure. Failure is quitting altogether. Consistency is not about never falling. It's about getting back up quickly and continuing forward. Stop letting one bad day turn into one bad week, one bad month, or one bad year. Let me be honest with you. Nobody is coming to push you every day. Nobody is going to remind you of your dreams every morning. That responsibility belongs to you. If you want a different life, you've got to be consistent with different actions. Excuses don't build futures, habits do. Ladies and gentlemen, consistency is the quiet power that changes lives. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it never fails. If you commit to showing up every day, doing the right things even when it's hard, even when it's boring, success will have no choice but to respond. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you about character, because character is who you are when nobody is watching, and that matters more than anything you will ever achieve. Success can put you in the spotlight, but character determines how long you stay there. A lot of people are chasing recognition, applause, and attention, but they are ignoring the inner work that actually sustains success. Without strong character, success doesn't elevate you, it exposes you. Character is not built in public moments, it is built in private decisions. It's built when you choose to do the right thing, even when it costs you something. It's built when no one would ever find out, but you still choose honesty over convenience. Too many people want the rewards of success without developing the responsibility that comes with it. Life doesn't work that way. What you tolerate in private will eventually show up in public. Let me be clear, character will take you further than talent ever could. Talent might get you noticed, but character gets you trusted. When people trust you, they give you opportunities. When they don't, doors close quietly. You don't lose opportunities loudly, you lose them slowly through small compromises. One lie, one shortcut, one excuse at a time. Character also shows up in how you treat people who can't do anything for you. The way you speak to others, the way you listen, the way you show respect, that's character. You can't claim to be successful if you're stepping on people along the way. Real success is not just about what you gain. It's about who you become. If your success costs you your integrity, you paid too much. One of the hardest tests of character is pressure. When things go wrong, when you're misunderstood, when life doesn't go your way, your true character comes out. Anybody can be kind when things are easy. Anybody can be patient when life is smooth. But character is revealed when you're tired, frustrated, and disappointed. How you respond in those moments matters more than you realize. Character also means accountability. It means owning your mistakes instead of hiding them. Strong people don't make excuses, they make adjustments. Weak character looks for someone to blame. Strong character looks in the mirror and asks, what can I do better? The moment you stop blaming others is the moment you start growing. Let me tell you something important. Character requires consistency too. You can't be honest today and dishonest tomorrow and expect respect to follow you. You can't be disciplined at work and careless in your personal life and expect balance. Character is who you are everywhere, not just when it's convenient. It's not about image, it's about identity. Another thing about character is patience. People with strong character don't rush the process. They don't cheat to get ahead. They understand that shortcuts cut character. You might move faster by cutting corners, but you will also fall harder. When your foundation is weak, the higher you go, the more dangerous it becomes. Let me also talk about humility. Humility is not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking less about yourself. A person with character can win without bragging and lose without bitterness. They understand that life is a journey of learning. The moment you think you know everything is the moment you stop growing. You see, character is not something you turn on when success arrives. Character must be built before success comes. Because if you don't develop it early, success will test you in ways you are not prepared for. Money, fame, power, these things don't change people, they reveal people. Ladies and gentlemen, if you focus on building your character daily, your life will become solid. You won't be shaken by opinions. You won't be broken by failure. You won't be corrupted by success. You will stand firm because your foundation is strong, and that strength will speak louder than any title you ever hold. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you about faith in yourself, because before anything changes on the outside, something has to change on the inside. A lot of people are waiting to see results before they believe. But it doesn't work like that. You have to believe before the results show up. Faith is not confidence after success. Faith is confidence before success. And if you don't develop that, you will quit too early every single time. See, most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they stop believing in themselves when things get hard. The moment the plan doesn't work, the moment progress slows down, the moment people stop supporting them, they start doubting themselves. But let me tell you something real. Doubt is part of the journey. Every successful person you admire has doubted themselves at some point. The difference is they didn't let doubt make decisions for them. You've got to understand this. Belief fuels persistence. When you truly believe in what you're doing, you don't give up at the first sign of trouble. You keep going even when you're scared. You keep moving even when you're unsure. Faith doesn't mean you're never afraid. It means you move forward despite the fear. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's obedience in the presence of fear. A lot of people are waiting for approval before they believe in themselves. They want validation from friends, family, social media, and society. But external validation is unstable. People will clap for you one day and doubt you the next. If your belief is based on people, your confidence will collapse the moment people change. You've got to build belief that stands even when nobody is cheering. Let me be honest with you. Sometimes you will be the only one who sees the vision. Sometimes the dream will make sense to you and nobody else. That doesn't mean it's wrong. It means it was given to you. Stop expecting people to understand what God showed you. Your job is not to convince them. Your job is to work. Faith in yourself also means trusting the process. You're not going to be great overnight. You're not going to have it all figured out immediately. Growth is messy. Progress is uncomfortable. There will be seasons where it feels like you're doing everything right and nothing is happening. That's when faith matters most. If you quit in that season, you'll never see what was coming next. One of the biggest enemies of faith is comparison. The moment you start comparing your journey to someone else's, you weaken your belief. You don't know their struggle. You don't know their sacrifices. You don't know their timing. Comparison will make you feel late when you're actually right on time. Stay in your lane. Focus on your assignment. You've also got to learn how to talk to yourself differently. When things go wrong, stop saying, "I can't do this." Start saying, "I'm learning." Start saying, "I'm not good enough. So I'm getting better." Your words shape your belief, and your belief shapes your actions. Speak to yourself with the same encouragement you'd give someone you love. Faith in yourself doesn't mean arrogance. It doesn't mean thinking you're better than others. It means trusting that you're capable of growth. It means understanding that failure is not a reflection of your worth. Failure is feedback. It's information. It's part of the process. Every setback is teaching you something if you're willing to listen. Let me say this clearly. You will fail at some point. That's not a possibility. That's a promise. But failure does not disqualify you. Quitting does. If you fall, get back up. If you mess up, adjust. If you feel weak, rest, but don't walk away. Faith is not never falling. Faith is always getting back up. You see, God will not give you a vision without also giving you the ability to grow into it. But growth takes time. Faith is you saying, it may not be there yet, but I'm on my way, and that mindset changes everything. It gives you strength on hard days. It gives you patience when progress is slow. It gives you courage when fear tries to stop you. Ladies and gentlemen, when you believe in yourself before results show up, you position yourself for breakthroughs you cannot yet see. Faith moves first, results follow later. If you hold on, keep working, and refuse to give up on yourself, life will eventually respond. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you about growth, because real growth is uncomfortable. And that's the part most people don't want to accept. Everybody wants to grow. Everybody wants a better life, a higher level, more success. But very few people are willing to be uncomfortable long enough to earn it. Growth will challenge you. It will stretch you. It will force you to let go of old habits, old thinking, and sometimes even old relationships. And if you're not willing to face that discomfort, you will stay exactly where you are. See, comfort is the enemy of progress. The moment you get too comfortable, you stop learning, you stop pushing, and you stop improving. Nothing grows in a comfort zone. Muscles don't grow without resistance. Character doesn't grow without pressure. Strength doesn't grow without struggle. Yet we keep asking for growth while avoiding discomfort. That's not how life works. Growth begins the moment you take responsibility for your life. Not excuses, not blame, not complaining, but responsibility. As long as you keep pointing fingers at people, circumstances, and situations, you give away your power. Responsibility gives you control. It says, I may not control everything that happens to me, but I control how I respond and what I do next. That mindset alone can change your future. Let me be honest with you. Growth will require you to do things you don't feel like doing. You will have to wake up earlier, work harder, stay disciplined longer, and stay focused when distractions look more attractive than progress. There will be days you want to quit. There will be days you feel tired, unmotivated, and unsure. That doesn't mean you're failing. That means you're growing. A lot of people mistake discomfort for failure. They think because something feels hard, it must be wrong. But discomfort is often a sign that you're leaving your old self behind. When you're learning something new, it feels awkward. When you're stepping into a higher level, it feels unfamiliar. When you're becoming someone better, it feels uncomfortable. That's not a warning sign, that's a confirmation. Growth also means letting go of what's familiar. Sometimes the people, habits, and environments you're used to are the very things holding you back. And that's a hard truth to face. Not everyone can go where you're going. Not everyone will understand your changes. Some people will be uncomfortable with your growth because it reminds them of what they refuse to do. Don't let that stop you. You've got to stop running from pressure. Pressure builds capacity. Pressure reveals strength you didn't know you had. Diamonds are not formed in comfort. They're not formed under pressure. If life is pushing you, stretching you, testing you, maybe it's because something valuable is being developed inside you. Don't break under pressure. Grow through it. Growth also requires humility. You have to be willing to admit you don't know everything. You have to be willing to learn, to listen, to be corrected. Pride will block your growth faster than failure ever could. The moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. Stay teachable. Stay open. Stay hungry. You know a lot of growth is patience. You don't grow overnight. Transformation takes time. You will not see results immediately. And that's where most people give up. They quit too soon. They leave the process before it finishes its work. But growth is happening even when you can't see it. Just because there's no visible change yet doesn't mean there's no progress. Stay consistent long enough for the results to catch up. Let me also say this: growth demands courage. Courage to face your fears. Courage to take risks. Courage to fail and try again. Playing it safe will keep you small. Growth lives on the other side of fear. Every level you want to reach will require a version of you that you have not yet become. And becoming that person will be uncomfortable. You are not meant to stay the same. You are meant to evolve, to improve, to rise. If your life feels challenging right now, don't complain, pay attention. Something is being built. Something is being strengthened. Growth is not easy, but it is worth it. And if you accept the discomfort, take responsibility, and keep moving forward, you will look by day and realize the struggle was shaping you for something greater.